Coming up on the ramen.
The soup for college students.
Normally, we would tell you what we're going to talk about later in the show here.
But we're not this time.
So, keep watching anyway.
Because this is the most watched program on LSU's campus, The Ramen.
The soup for college students.
The soup for college students. Hosted by Ben Wallace and Caitlin Fish. Movie news with Matt McKay. Music news with Lamar Narcisse. And a cornucopia of award-winning ramen reporters. And created by entertainment extraordinaire Jordan Walden.
Welcome to the ramen.
The soup for college students.
And happy Groundhog Day. Even though I pulled out my long underwear for the first time in college today, Puxatawny Phil says winter's over.
Oh, and happy Black History Month.
And speaking of Black History Month, comic book fanatics everywhere descended upon New Orleans over the weekend.
What the hell do comic books have to do with Black History Month?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Diego Andres Rodriguez Delfino headed to the Big Easy for Comic-Con and interviewed some well-known actors, most of whom were African Americans.
Welcome to Wizard World's Comic-Con 2011 in New Orleans. The land of nerds, long lines, old celebrities and childhood heroes, nerds, and more nerds. All kinds of comic and sci-fi paraphernalia covered the whole place, but the main feature was, of course, the heroes. The actors of Batman, Robin, Darth Maul, Lando Calrissian, Winston Zeddemore, and many others answered the fans' weirdest questions, and that includes ours.
Diego Delfino for Tiger TV's The Ramen. I'm a big fan of Star Wars, I'm a big fan of Broadway, you've done both. Do you think we'll ever get the chance to see a Star Wars musical?
George Lucas. They've done everything else. I don't know about that.
George Lucas, Billy D would do a Star Wars musical. Thank the ramen for letting you know. As I mentioned, Ray Park, who played Darth Maul, was also at Comic-Con, but I had to keep the camera off for the interview. Here's what he said.
George Lucas, according to him, had a 24-hour cut of episode 1 that he had to cut into the 2 hours and 10 minutes that was the actual film. Something else we talked about was his return to the Star Wars series. He said to look for him on the Clone Wars animated series, and we might be able to see him there in the future.
Last but definitely not least, here's our exclusive interview with Ernie Hudson.
Ghostbusters 3, do you think that will ever happen, and why?
Well, yeah, I think it will. I know the studio's been wanting it to happen. I know Danny Aykroyd and Harold Ramis, who wrote the video game, and they also wrote the movie. I know they've been wanting it to happen, and now I know Bill Murray wants it to happen, and so I think it's a good chance that finally it'll be done.
Long day full of nerds, but I definitely had a blast. And I got 2 celebrities on the ramen. Take that, Newsbeat. For the whole hilarious Q&A session with the great Billy D, check out tigertv.tv.
That's hot. You know, Ben, there's only one thing I like more than comic books, and that's going out in a closed rink and playing a rough and tumble sport with athletic chicks.
Whew, sexual much? Let me sign myself up for that.
Well, take a look at Baton Rouge's best roller derby with ramen reporter JC Tull first.
In the day, these women are librarians, nurses, archivists. But when the roller rink bell rings, they turn into an elite team of skating fiends. If Ellen Page can do this, so can I. So I became the plummeting penguin. Oh! Ow. So I decided to retire my name. But I will be here February 20th for the scrimmage at Leo's Rollerland. They are accepting donations and selling really awesome merch. You guys should be here too.
For Tiger TV's The Ramen, this has been JC Tull.
Back to you guys.
Could that girl have fallen any more conveniently into the space between her competitor's legs?
I think not. But now it's time for a 90-second commercial interruption.
Enjoy these Ye-Wreck, Diamond Mazda, and Rave commercials.
And stay tuned for an update on Charlie Sheen's latest sexual escapades after the break.